Sharlyn Sarac, Michael Thomson. This is Perth's National 9 News.
Safe at last, the Australians rescued from the New Orleans disaster zone. Security footage shows Blake Reynolds' last known movements. The teenager is still missing. And the knife-edge thriller that leaves the Eagles one win away from the grand final. Good evening, thanks for joining us. And Michael, a stunning performance by the Eagles and the Swans.
Sharlyn, one of the great AFL finals. All the colour and the highlights coming up later, plus Geelong versus Melbourne, the US Open, and the Wallabies clash with the All Blacks.
The first relief supplies have begun to arrive in the shattered city of New Orleans, bringing hope to the countless sick and starving. The food and water was protected from looters by a military convoy. Authorities still don't know how many people died as a result of Hurricane Katrina. Robert Penfold is in the disaster zone, where he helped rescue a group of young Australians. But Christine Spiteri begins our coverage tonight from Texas, which is trying to cope with a huge wave of refugees.
After praying for help for so long, it's finally started arriving in New Orleans.
Michael Thomson, National 9 News.
Coming up on Perth's National 9 News, Collie MP Mick Murray decides, will he stick with Labor or quit? Also, another flight attendant arrested with cocaine at Perth Airport. And furious wildlife officers warn they'll prosecute whale watchers who get too close. A flight attendant has been arrested carrying a kilogram of cocaine through Perth Airport. Customs officers found the drugs in the 25-year-old man's document wallet.
Alicia Kennedy, National 9 News.
Saturday Sports next with Michael Thomson.
Thanks very much, Sharlyn. Coming up after the break, the umpires have been a crucial mistake in the thriller at Subiaco Oval. And the Eagles' injury report after their amazing victory.
Was Jolly, and there it is! The Eagles are through to the preliminary final, but I'll tell you what, only just in the end.
Plus the Demons down and out of the final series.
That is very ugly.
The West Coast Eagles are just one win away from this year's grand final after last night's stirring 4-point victory over the Sydney Swans. The only downside, a groin injury to goal sneak Phil Matera. Bob Hunnett with the highlights.
This is the goal that virtually sealed it.
Well, under confectioner, Sharlyn, that's all in a huge day in sport.
Certainly is. Thanks, Michael. The weather's next, then when charity is a home. The auction which helps young people battling depression.
Fuel Watch, tomorrow's cheapest petrol prices for Perth.
I hope you were able to make the most of today's sunshine because we're in for a wintry week. Right now in Perth, it's 15.8 degrees. We reached a top of 19.5 after dropping to 5.6 overnight. The satellite shows fine conditions in the northern half, and in the southern half it was fine apart from some scattered showers about the lower southwest. On the chart, a series of weak cold fronts will cross the lower southwest over the next 36 hours, with a much stronger front set to approach on Monday. There'll be increasing showers and winds, but in the northern half of the state, the fine weather should continue. Around the nation, a top of 18 for Adelaide tomorrow, 17 for Melbourne and Sydney, just 13 degrees in Canberra, fine and 32 in Darwin. Here in the west, fine and 28 in Broome tomorrow, a top of 27 in Karratha, fine and 24 in Kalgoorlie, showers and 19 for Bunbury, Esperance 21. On local waters, north-northwesterly winds 10 to 15 knots, freshening west-northwesterly 15 to 20 in the morning. The seas to 1.5 metres, the swell off Rottnest to 3.5 and 1.2 metres off Cottesloe. So the forecast, a few showers tonight and tomorrow. We're heading for a top of 21 after a low of 9. Looking ahead, well, it looks like winter's making a return with showers and windy conditions forecast right through to next weekend. Finally tonight, a very special auction has left a family with a brand new home and given a huge boost to a Perth charity. The 4x2 house in Baldivis was donated for charity by Scott Park Homes in association with Channel 9, and it went under the hammer at lunchtime.
330,000. Great big round of applause for the gentleman and congratulations.
And that's a big cash injection for Youth Focus, which works with young people who are depressed and at risk of committing suicide.
And that's the news for this Saturday.
Tomorrow our first news is at 8 on Business Sunday, and on the Sunday program, special coverage of the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina and the anarchy in New Orleans. But for now, have a great evening. Good night.
Good night.
This has been a presentation of National 9 News.